A bit about myself. I'm Akun Sabharwal. I'm a dentist by education, a policeman by training, and over the last about 2 or 3 years, a bureaucrat by an order of the government. Let me talk about something that I'm passionate about: mountaineering. So this was a peak called Kabru Dome. It's um, just bordering Nepal. What I will be talking about is my personal experiences. What have these mountains, what have these hills taught me? And I feel as if the mountains are speaking to me. They're just whispering something into my ear. This is a beautiful photograph and a story attached. I'll just narrate this story to you. So, one of the greats in Indian mountaineering, the chief instructor at India's premier mountaineering institute, Mr. Negi. The institute is called Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. So, this is about a few years back when I was climbing with him, and I asked him, Negi sir, what is the biggest principle, or what is the basic principle of mountaineering? And he said, Dr. Sabharwal, you're a big man. How big are you? I didn't get his question. So he said, how tall are you? I said, sir, I'm about 5'11". So that would convert to just less than about 1.8 meters. And he says, Mr. Sabharwal, how tall is that peak? So this is one of the well-known peaks in the Himalayas. So I looked back and said, sir, guess about 7,000 meters. So he said, Dr. Sabharwal, always remember that. So one thing that struck me immediately, or it was a life lesson for me. Howsoever big you may be, financially, politically, economically, socially, in front of the great power, whatever you may call him, the Almighty, or you may be an atheist and you just may call it nature, we are a very small minuscule. The route to your peak or to your summit or to your goal goes through lots of ups and downs and circuitous routes, and that is when you actually reach your goal. This is a photograph of Tristan sitting down and trying to see where are we going. So typically in mountaineering you plan, but finally once it's all done, you are there. So this whisper, you may plan to the last detail in your life, but that moment, that absolutely, when you get it, is what life is all about. This is one photograph. This is this year on the border with Nepal, and honestly, it's such a beautiful photograph, but I hadn't seen this photograph till I came back. That is what many a times happens with us in our day-to-day lives. We get so busy with our goals. Maybe our goal was just climbing the peak, and I'm at loss of words to explain how I could have missed out such utter beauty. This is one more whisper which I came back and came to me. Along our aim to reach the top, or to reach our goal, or wherever we want to be, we many a times lose out the beauty en route. Breathtaking photograph. And this is a totally, you see, what had happened is, we had a gentleman from Garhwal in our group, and for God knows what reason, he put the map upside down, and rather than going northwest, we went southeast. And it was only after reaching this particular beautiful spot that we realized we are lost. To see the scenery in the middle of snow-peaked Himalayas, there's a beautiful water body, and you realize it's good to lose track, it's good to lose your route sometimes in life. It can take you to absolutely wonderful places, and a pure whisper in your ear. Even if you lose your route sometimes, it's not so bad. It can take you to wonderful lakes and wonderful places. Yeah, this is a photo which is very, very close to my heart. As in all hills, it drains you physically and it drains you mentally. There will be long periods of absolute solitude. You may be walking in groups of 6 or 7, but it's your solitude which is all encompassing. And this is the time when you realize silence is really golden. Time when you listen to your gut. You see, each step, normally in a minute you take just 4 steps at that altitude. It's absolutely tiring, it's painful. And when the body says, I've proven enough, the mind, the heart just says, ek kadam aur, just one more step. And that is when you realize what a wonderful thing the whole creation is all about. It's just one step after the other. And that is actually what life is. When you're in trouble, it's just that one step after the other, which really makes you move on and on. A gentleman who was with us a few years back in the Garhwal Hills. What I learned was we need to reflect. To sit down and reflect sometimes of the route that you've taken and the way you've gone about the whole thing. In the Himalayas, everything that you carry is on your own back. You carry your own burden. Travel light. That is exactly what the mountains whisper for life also. Travel light. We carry a lot of our burdens along with us all the time. Whatever is essential for you, you have to carry your own burden. And so, travel light. Near the peak, the mountains, as also life, will give you a lot of chances. It will give you a lot of chances till the breaking point. And therefore, choose your route wisely, choose your goals wisely, enjoy the path, and try and not rattle the powers that be, the Almighty. Don't take chances beyond what the Almighty permits you. This has been my journey. I'm not one of the greats in mountaineering. I may not have the best stories to tell. I may not have climbed the best peaks or the highest peaks, but this is my story. This is my journey. And the same is true for all of us. My life's journey is my own. People may have taken different routes, gone to different goals, had their own times, but this is my journey and I've enjoyed my journey. Thank you.